about hopes and dreams and everything in between. And as you grow, you will find love in this world, 'cause there's nothing in this world that you can't believe in. Open up your eyes and feel the space in this world, 'cause there's nothing in this world that you can't believe in. Loyalty's a thing you learn, but courage flows in the blood.
7 albums later and more than a decade in the music industry, South Africa's favorite rock band, Watershed, is showing no signs of slowing down. Since the release of their debut single, Indigo Girl, the band has raked up a string of platinum and gold albums which have made them one of the most successful musical outfits in this country. Like many creatives, the pandemic has affected them, but in this case it gave frontman Craig Hinds a chance to work on their 7th album, Elephant in the Room, which was recently released. Hinds joins us now via Zoom to tell us more about their latest project. Craig, a very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Yeah, thanks so much.
Geez, man, 7 albums later and over a decade in the music industry. How would you sum up this ride? What kept you going?
Yeah, it's been, the time seems to have just really gone so quickly. It started with you mentioned Indigo Girl, and, right from the very beginning, things just went really well. That particular song did incredibly well for the band. And, for us, it was really just about sort of trying to keep up with the way things were moving. So we were touring overseas extensively in Europe as well during that first sort of decade. So we started in 2000. And then right up to now, and before you know it, as you say, seven albums, and we're carrying on. We're feeling good. We sort of got the same feeling now that we had in the mid-2000s, which is quite exciting.
Right. And the pandemic, of course, had an impact on quite a lot of creatives, but it seems that it was a blessing in disguise for you guys because it gave you time to work on this project. Yeah? Tell us more.
Well, I think, just chatting to our contemporaries and other artists, for a lot of people, it was a difficult time to, sort of be creative, and a lot of bands, I think, battled to get stuff out. Obviously, with no touring, it was really difficult, and I think we sort of figured that out right in the beginning, that there's no way around this thing. So the best way is just to get going and start writing. And I had so much material. There was just everywhere I looked, things were changing, people were changing, people were adapting. Businesses were being lost, businesses were growing. So it was just as I say, there was a lot of material for me, and I sort of grabbed it and changed it and made it work for us.
Elephant in the Room sees the band take on a more authentic, more live sound. What are the reasons behind this decision?
I think, I think we also first realized that, with streaming being so prevalent at the moment, those various platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, etc., Deezer, the bands are, I think, battling more and more nowadays to make money because you don't really make too much through streaming. So I think our focus as Watershed was really on our live shows. And it's and obviously it's about trying to create the same thing on the album that people are that you're capturing live and people are seeing live. So for us to just get into studio and really workshop the songs together and record the album that way, we feel was right for where we're going and Watershed's sound.
Okay. Will the fans of Watershed still recognize the band's sound on this project? And perhaps how did you strike the balance with this album?
Yeah, absolutely. People have said, we've had a whole lot of reviews, and all of them have been great, which is really cool. And I think the big part of the reviews is that Watershed is sort of going back to that earlier sound. We've got songs on this album that are reminding people of our earlier stuff. So absolutely, we feel incredibly proud of this album, Elephant in the Room, and I think it's real Watershed.
Now, given how long you've been in this industry, 7 albums later, I mean, with all their own success stories, what do you attribute your success to?
I think we've just sort of stuck with what we know. You know, it's you know, over the years, our style of writing, you know, the sound of the band, the sound of the voice, it's just something that's always been there, and we've stuck with that. You know, I think being a band like Watershed, we've allowed ourselves to move right or left, whichever way we sort of feel we want to go. But I think our core music is sitting in that middle space, and we've stuck with it. We know it works, and you know, and then for us it just becomes important that we keep bettering ourselves, and we want to write better songs, and you know, and so I think that's what the vibe is all about for us. It's just about sticking to your knitting, you know.
And what other subjects and themes do you touch on or sing about in the album?
Well, I think, you know, I think what became very clear for everyone, because everyone was suddenly on social media and researching and working from home, and people were learning a lot of stuff really quickly. And I think what became very prevalent was a lot of what we're calling on the album the elephant in the room, and a lot of issues that sort of reared their heads during this time, and things that were very clear to us. You know, we were talking about when suddenly in those hard lockdowns, when all the vehicles were taken off the roads and there weren't any planes in the sky, and you know how the earth sort of healed right then. You know, and then from politics around the globe, you know, how politicians were dealing with this thing, and how issues were suddenly sort of quite clear to people, the public, you know, and so yeah, it was sort of grabbing all of those things, and you know, women and child abuse during lockdown spiked. You know, and that was another elephant in the room that we all sort of aware of, but we're not really necessarily addressing those issues. You know, so that's what a lot of the theme was.
Okay, great stuff. So what are your contact details? How should your fans connect with you?
Well, I think the most important one that we use is Instagram. So it's Watershed Music Official. So first of all, just go on there and follow the band. All our info is on there. We've got a big tour coming up. We're touring Europe in August and September. So we're going to be documenting the whole thing. So I think it's a good time to jump on and follow the band. And yeah, our new single's out. It's called Undone. I think we've got a couple of singles coming out. But yeah, social media is the way, you know. We've obviously got our website, which is www.watershed, and Facebook. But I think Instagram's the best way to follow the band and check out what we're doing.
All right, great stuff. All the best, man. Thank you so much for chatting to us this morning.
Yeah, thank you so much. Really good to chat.
All right. Watershed lead singer and songwriter Craig Hinds speaking to us about the leading acoustic rock band's 7th studio album titled Elephant in the Room.